Bev again with another video. And in this video, I want to talk about fat loss, right? Most of us have the goal of fat loss when we first start exercising. But me, I didn't do a lot of cardio. I did mostly weightlifting for fat loss. And you might wonder why. Sure, I wanted to lose fat, but I didn't want saggy skin. I wanted toned skin. I realized after that there's nothing, tone doesn't mean anything. What it means is that you can see the muscles, right? They're defined. And that means that you have to build up your muscles and lose fat at the same time. So that's why I did mostly weight training and not a lot of cardio. I might have done, 85% weights and 15% cardio. Now, when you look at marathon runners, right, they're very sinewy. They're not, you wouldn't call them, muscular, right? And certainly they've got great aerobic power, wonderful heart endurance, right? And that's their goal. That just wasn't my goal. I wanted, as I say, to get toned, right? So I realized what I was after was not just fat loss. I was after lowering my body fat percentage. So, if I think of lean tissue and fatty tissue, what I really was after was a change in that ratio. I wanted more lean and less fat. And that means a better body fat percentage, a lower one, okay? And actually that's a great measure of good physical fitness. And that's why trainers are always taking your body fat percentage numbers. Okay, now if I go over to this cardio exercise, no, there's nothing wrong with it. Yes, you will lose body fat, right? But you have to remain oxidative for that to happen. And that means that you have to be able to get, when you're breathing, you have to be able to get that oxygen down into those hard-working muscles. And the more fit you are, the longer you're going to stay oxidative. If you're unfit, you're not going to be able to move that oxygen, and you're going to be able to get a lot of messages from your body, okay? And messages that it is going anaerobic, which means it needs oxygen for energy, but it can't get it through your respiration. So it's going to go after oxygen already in your body to create that energy. And you don't want that to happen because it can get it from cells, it can take it from different places. You'd rather be aerobic, right? That's why you're doing aerobic exercise. So what I would suggest is, first of all, the messages are, you begin to breathe very shallow, you get red in the face, you can't carry on a conversation, you begin to cough. All of those are messages from your body saying, look out, I'm moving away from aerobic, I'm going anaerobic. So if you want to do cardio, try HIIT, which is high intensity interval training. So you can go fast if you want on the treadmill, but as soon as you get those messages that you're going anaerobic, then slow down until your body catches up to you. Then you can go fast again. So it's just a matter of going slow and then fast and slow and then fast so you can avoid these messages. Fine, fat loss, but I wanted a lower body fat percentage. So I went with strenuous weight training. And when I say strenuous, I mean progressively heavier weights. I mean like an hour in the gym. I am after biochemical adaptations, and this is going to help me lose body fat plus gain muscle, right? So the first thing is blood capillaries, and blood capillaries move blood oxygen, to your hardworking muscles. So this, and you always, as I said, you always need oxygen to create energy, right? So working out will build up more blood capillaries. It will also build up more mitochondria, and people call those your cell powerhouses, and they do create energy, but mitochondria are involved in cell respiration. So they move a lot of nutrients, so they give you energy. They oxidize fatty acids. those are your triglycerides, and those live in your body fat. So mitochondria will break down triglycerides, and it'll do that by taking the oxygen and putting it into that triglyceride. Triglycerides have carbon and hydrogen. So you put oxygen with the carbon, you get carbon dioxide to breathe out, and you put oxygen with the hydrogen and you get water to sweat out or pee out or whatever. So that's why they say, you know, when you release fat, you're breathing it out. That's where that comes from. The other thing that you get is more lipase enzymes. And enzymes are catalysts that speed up chemical reactions. And all enzymes are very highly specialized. Lipase, guess what it wants to do? And its primary purpose is to break up fatty acids. And you will build up more of these enzymes lifting weights. Human growth hormones are a calorie-burning anabolic hormone, and it also frees up fat for energy. Now, these two acronyms, this one will occur somewhat with cardio training, but it is much more effective with weight training. And it is excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. So what happens is when you're exercising, your body, as I say, it needs energy. So it uses up oxygen. And so after you've finished exercising, you kind of have an oxygen deficit in your body that needs to be kind of rebalanced, right? And that's calorie burning. So you get a lot of it here, a little bit over here. This one you don't get over here. This is called delayed onset muscle soreness. Do you feel it? Oh yeah, you feel it. You don't feel this, but you do feel this. And it is a calorie burning activity. When you work out, you kind of tear your muscle fibers a little bit. Sounds bad, but it's not. And so your body, when you're finished exercising, it has to rebuild, repair those muscle fibers. And that's where you get more strength in your muscles. So this can last 1 to 3 days. And that's why they say when you're weightlifting, when you leave the gym, you're still burning calories. That's due to these, not so much over here. So weight training is going to give me more energy. It's going to give me more calorie burning. It's going to release more fatty acids. It's going to give me calorie burning for 1 to 3 days after I leave the gym. It's going to give me better metabolic efficiency. And metabolism is your ability to burn calories. And also it's going to increase my anabolic rate. And, you know, metabolism is built with anabolism and catabolism. So the more anabolism or anabolic you are, then the easier it is to lose fat. Okay, when you're catabolic, you can gain weight. So what I would say is weightlifting creates a different response to the food that you eat. You actually become a fat burning engine, and you don't have to worry about counting calories. I never count calories. So as I say, 85% over here, 15% here. I always do my weight training and then I do 10 or 15 minutes of cardio. Why? Because I freed up these fatty acids over here. Well, I may as well use them up over here for energy. Okay, so I hope this has helped. It is a very complex subject. Good luck, and just get into the weight training. It worked for me. It took 40 pounds off in 19 months. Thank you. Bye-bye.